What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a few things to do here. But we're going to start off with this 2014 Q5. It's a 2.0 turbo engine, and we have the famous or the infamous leak at the water pump. I tried to get a all aluminum water pump, but unfortunately it was on back order on FCS website, and by the time they have it on again, well, it was too late. So anyway, long story short, we're here today. I got a water pump from Gates, and we're gonna go with that. Procedure is already online. A lot of different videos that I reference myself. If need be, I'll remove the intake manifold. It doesn't seem like we will have to do that, but in the interest of doing a correct job and doing it perfectly, if it calls for removal of the intake, I will definitely remove the intake manifold. But I'm hoping that I can find a way to do that just like other videos and be able to be confident in a repair that actually is going to work. Alright, so let's go. Basically, initially take everything around this area that's going to be in your way, the overflow, the charge pipe, the throttle body, and then we'll come back and see what else we got to remove. Cool. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've cleared this whole area. Now we can kind of see the water pump right in the back there. I mean, we have a whole bunch of hoses, wire harnesses and stuff like that in the way that we need to deal with, but at some level you can kind of see it. So now, of course, next logical step is going to be to get out of my way all of the wire harnesses. They look like they're going to be color coded, and the connectors don't look like they're going to be the same, so I don't think we have to worry about labeling anything at this point. It's just going to be basically recognize how this mount there, or this bracket here made out of plastic is done. Also, we have this bracket here that's supporting the intake manifold. Some people have mentioned that they omitted this when they went back in. Haven't decided on that yet. I mean, there are certain brackets that, yeah, you can probably omit in cars, if it's going to make the job harder than it should. But this one I don't think it would, only because access is very, very easy. So most probably I'm going to put it back together when we get there. Also, it's a lot of leaks. I'm not sure where the leaks coming from. Is it somebody trying to fill the oil and they spilling oil all over the cylinder head there on top of it, and the oil is seeping down? Because I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but basically at the back of the head there, where the head meets the water pump, or the water pump meets the head, there's a lot of oil. So I'm thinking maybe this is the reason why it fails. The gasket on that side fails because all of this oil is going straight to the gasket. And then, oil, when it's hot and rubber, it'll make it swell. And eventually it'll be deformed, and then you have leaks. But again, this is all speculations. We'll know for sure once we get this guy out of there. So that's what I'm getting ready to do, basically clear out this area. Whatever I can get my hands on that's in my way, I'm going to try to remove. So when we get back to the next shot, we'll be able to see the water pump in its glory. Okay guys, so as you see, the water pump is now very visible right in the middle of the screen. I have to remove the cover to the right side, that black part right to the right of the aluminum part of the water pump, which is the actual water pump. The rest is just the thermostat housing, basically. I got to remove the cover and remove the belt, and then remove the rest of the fastener that's holding this water pump to this cylinder. No, it's to the block actually. Alright, so let me go ahead and try to do that. But as you can see, I've removed all of the connections to the water pump, and thankfully it was without a casualty. It's very nerve-wracking doing this, especially if you don't have replacement parts ready and the customer needs his car by the end of the day, which is a case in my line of work, at least my customers, So anyway, let's move on. All right, so she's ready to come out. I've already managed to push it back. When I remove the belt just comes off by hand. You literally just push it to the side. There's really it's not a tight belt, And fortunately, I don't know if I have these O-rings to replace. I mean, I have a kit with O-rings, but I don't trust my O-rings because they're really cheap. So I'm kind of, I don't know. Maybe I'll call the VW dealer and see if they have those O-rings. I really would feel comfortable just replacing them rather than taking a chance and having to redo this job. That will suck. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm gonna advise you, even if you get an aftermarket kit, aftermarket water pump or a kit, just replace the O-rings with some original if you can. I think it would probably just be a better idea altogether. I mean, it's not a very, very difficult job, really. It's just a back-breaking job. It's just, but yeah. So I'm basically that connected, the red thing you're seeing right there on your screen. That's what's holding this thing together, or holding it up right now. I need to pry it outwardly. So if you have a pick with a right angle, you can just pick it out. That's the locking tab, and then that's what you gotta do. So I'm gonna get a pick and deal with that and remove the water pump. And we're gonna inspect it to see how it failed. Okay, doke. So she's ready to come out. That connector was a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. Took me longer than I would want, but eventually it's been overcome. So I ended up pulling the entire locking tab out right there. It's destroyed now anyway. So and of course I flipped the water pump to where it was facing down now, the connector. Put a flat head screwdriver under where it meets the temp sensor, and just pry it up a little bit as I was pressing on a tab, and the cam the cam off seamlessly. Now I think I should be able to pull this guy out. Let me see if I can do it with one hand. I think everything is out now. Where are we? Okay, right there. There you go. So, oh, look at that. Yeah, that's destroyed. Look at the top of it. Oh my goodness. It's crumbled completely. So yeah, this was a common failure point. And like I said, I think this has to do with the oil leak at the top. As you see, this gasket is completely destroyed. I'm gonna have to take a picture and send to the customer, let him know. So he sees that. So whatever oil is, I don't know if it's leaking or not, but let's take another picture. Yep, that was our problem. Now we're gonna do a little housekeeping, of course, clean the mating surfaces and everything else. So, and I can go to the dealership and try to get those gaskets, or I can just use my own kit. Since the failure wasn't on its point right here, I'm not sure. I mean, it's not like the gasket is flat, as you can tell. There's still enough protrusion. You see it right there on this side and on that side. There's enough, in my mind, to warrant reusing it, as you can see. Or I can use my own gaskets, because I really, shoot. Yeah, this was definitely not the leaking point. So I don't know. I guess I'll just have to see when I put it back if it feels snug or not. In fact, I'm gonna try that now on camera. I'm trying to see if it is gonna be snug or not right there. Oh, it feels really good. Oh, real. It feels really good. Good. Actually, look at that. I gotta apply force to remove it. So let me see the other side. I think that's the same. This side is a little bit more, well, actually, no, it wasn't in all the way. No, this should work out. This should work out. I've installed tons of these types of fittings or situations where they wasn't as snug as this. This is very snug, even after the fact. It's been there since 2014. So I think I'm going to reuse it. But like I said, this was the common failure point. It chipped off, as you can see, and I'm pretty sure the reason is going to be the oil dripping from there. So anybody who has this type of car, I feel like your focus should be there. Well, granted, on other cars like American cars, domestic cars, you got what is it? Ford. Some of the Ford, what is it, 2.5? They have a outlet on that side. Well, most cars will have that outlet on the driver's side there, on the side of the block. I've noticed that they have the same issue. I mean, that water outlet housing would definitely fail because of the gasket, and it will warp because of the heat and the oil. So, is it a way to permanently remedy the situation? I don't think so. I really don't think so. As long as this is going to meet a hot surface on the side of the engine, and as long as you're going to have some oil kind of dripping down, this would eventually need to be replaced. Now, what you want to do is trying to slow down this process, but I don't think it's ultimately inevitable. It'll happen. That's what I think. So, yep, this was the other piece. You can see how crumbly it is. It's been chipped off and everything. Let's see. Right there you go. Yep. Anyway, so let's go back and let me show you what I got, by the way. I'm not sure if you can open this without the key. Alright, let me get the key. But I think I didn't disconnect the battery. I should be able to. Yeah, that's right. I'll show you what I got from Gates. That's the part number right there, 41086BH. So again, I would have loved to have the all aluminum housing, but for this type of problem, honestly, I'm not sure that it's going to make that much of a difference anyway, because the gasket itself will fail regardless. So there goes the new pump again. Comes with a new thermostat. You know, so I think I'm going to fit this thermostat in. Some people are like, no, you reuse the original. I don't know. I mean, you know, everybody got their own opinion on stuff nowadays, so you don't know who to believe. So, or you know that you don't want to do the job twice. So sometimes you get extra paranoid, but ultimately, it is what it is. You can put brand new everything and still end up doing the job twice. What are you going to do? All right, let me go ahead and clean up that mating surfaces. I'm going to prep this thing, meaning put the sensor back in there, the new one. I'm going to use the new one. And yeah, that's about it. And we go back in and put all the bolts like they're supposed to go and hope for the best. Let me just show you how I actually clean this. Somebody may want to see, because mine has actually residues of the old gasket, a little bit of it. So I don't know if you get a good shot there. I'm trying to hold the camera one hand, by the way, and trying to give you some type of access. All right, let me put this thing out of my way. Sorry guys, I should have done this off camera. I apologize. Alright, so right there, so holding it right there, and basically yeah, just like that. That's what you want to do. Man, you don't want to gouge the surface. You just lay it flat and just go easy. You know, make sure you catch if there's an edge, a lip onto that, whatever you think is a gasket or something, residue. You just want to catch the edge of it and just trying to equalize it with the rest of the surface that's not affected. So it's just like that, you know, common sense. All right, common sense, just like that. Nothing big. Don't gouge the surface. You see, I'm very flat against the surface, right? I'm not doing nothing but just removing the surface stuff. That's it. Just like that. Forgive me if you're going out of the picture sometime, because I'm watching what I'm doing, not through the viewfinder, but in real time here. So that's why sometimes I'm going in and out of focus. If you have compressed air, use it, because some of the water went into these ports, and this is you know, where your bolt's gonna thread in. So those ports right there. So just blow it out. If you don't have compressed air, take a small pick and put a paper around it, meaning shop towels, and trying to go and dry it as much as possible. Or use some brake cleaner because it'll just evaporate. But you need to have them free from water because, sometimes it can cause some problems if you're trying to compress that water in there. So just saying. The best scenario would be that if you go to tighten it, the water will just kind of, come out the other side, but you never know. So some people were talking about the block or something being basically cracked as a result of that. I've never seen it myself, but who am I to say no to that? You never know. It kind of makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, so that's clean. I'm just going to use this to kind of wipe it down. So if you want to use brake cleaner, go ahead and do that too, but ultimately that's what you want, just a flat surface. The gasket is what does the sealing. All right, so I'm just going to show you how to prep this one. Basically, this is the thermostat. Remove it. We're going to put in there, but before the thermostat, there's an O-ring that goes on the thermostat to make a good seal there. Hold on, let me take it out of the back. So, sorry guys. Alright, so there goes the O-ring right there, and there goes the locking tab. Now, when I'm looking at this, the old one, the thermostat was facing this way, like the flat side of the thermostat is facing upwards. So before that, let's put our O-ring on. If you got some water or some coolant to lubricate it, that's best. If you have some silicone paste, that's also good. So I think I'm gonna get some coolant. So basically, I'm gonna dip it in some coolant. Basically, this is some concentrated coolant. That's all I had. It's not like you have to have concentrated coolant. Just saying. And then the flat side of it faces upward, just like that. And I'm trying to press it in all the way. And once you have it all the way, which I need 2 hands, guys, but you get the picture. Once you have it all the way, then yeah, I need 2 hands because I need to make sure it's flattened out completely, which I can see protruding here now. So now, using one hand to press it in, the other hand is going to slide the C-clip to hold it in place. So let me go ahead and do that because I definitely need 2 hands for that. Alright, so this is all prepped. I'm still reusing that fitting. As I said earlier, I don't see anything wrong with it. I lubricated the O-ring with some coolant as well. Thermostat is in. The C-clip to hold it in is in. It's tight. So now we're just going back in the car. Alright, so I'll catch you back when I set it all the way in, and then we'll see how we're going to do with the belt. Some people kind of tilt it to the side to catch the belt, then do that. I'm not sure which I'm going to do of the 2 methods. Either that or wait until I'm already in and then spin the crank with the belt on and have the belt go on with the crank spinning. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. So whatever feels safer to me, that's what I will do eventually. So anyway, okay, so the belt is on. So I already put it in first just to make sure, because I was trying to catch the belt, but he was giving me some issues. So I prefer not to even waste my time and risk knocking off the gasket by trying to fiddle with it, or this being cocked and putting undue pressure on the bolt when you go to tighten it, because these things, they strip very easily, especially the bolt. They look like they should be replaced or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, I did the safest method for my situation, which was bolt the water pump first. Make sure you bolt it with ease. The gasket is in place. That little fitting there also in place. Actually, let me give you a zoom. And once you're done with that, then just like you would do a stretch belt, I had the belt kind of on the side, just a little bit. Look at me. This is basically me trying to fit my finger or my hand between the fan module and the crank bolt with the 1/2 inch, because it's a 24 millimeter. So the 1/2 inch trying to, anyway. So put the belt on the tip of it and start turning the engine, and it just did the rest, I guess. So now we in. The belt is in, as you can tell. So that's it. Now what I'm gonna do now, before we go put everything back together and be all happy and stuff, I'm gonna put just the hoses together right now, and fill it up with coolant. Make sure I have no leak. And then if I have no leak, well, at least it's not under pressure yet, but at least if you had a huge leak, say the gasket rolled or something or fell out of place, you can see it. You can just go ahead and fix it before you put everything back together and having to take it back off. You know what I'm saying, right? All right, guys. All right, guys. So just to close out the video, car is running. The level is good. I filled it up a couple times and let it kind of be drained in the system. And so far so good. Not seeing any signs of any type of leaks even at the joint. I mean, it's going to be impossible to show you guys, but yeah, I'm expecting everything there. I'm not seeing anything funny, anything funky there, so I think we did it. Now time will tell how long this water pump will last. Hopefully, like I said, it'll last long enough to be worth the money that this customer spent. So again, so far so good. So I'm just waiting for this to get up to operating temperature, and so far it's almost there, as you can see. So yeah, make sure we got some good heat in the cabin, and I will take it for a spin, and we'll come back and we'll recheck and make sure the level is still good. Turn it off. When they get cooled completely, we'll come back and recheck again, and then we'll see. So I think this is the bleeding process, or self-bleeding process. You see those bubbles there? I don't know if you can see in the camera, but there are bubbles right there in that line. It stopped, but there were some bubbles just coming out. I think that's the self-bleeding process that they have in the system, which is very smart. But yeah, so far so good. Again, it's been running for about 10 minutes. I'm going to leave it out here while I'm putting my stuff up and just run around. And again, if you're having this problem, like I said, if you have this car, I would definitely always check for leaks, and make sure when you pour oil inside of here or wherever you're going to take it to do the oil change, make sure they have a funnel and you don't spill oil all over the place, because I really firmly believe this is one of the primary reasons why that gasket will fail over time. Alright guys, I'll update you if I see anything interesting, but right now level is on max, as you see, or a little bit over that right there, minimum, maximum, and we're doing good. Later. Alright guys, so I came back from a test drive. I think I put about a little less than 15 miles maybe, I'm not sure, at least 10 miles. So now the level kind of dropped a little bit, from maximum to in the middle there, so I think it's perfectly normal. As far as like the water that was, you could visibly see right there by the block, like under the water pump, there's nothing, everything dried up. So I'm confident that this is gonna stay. Wish I could show you, but even myself, I'm having a hard time seeing underneath there, but I know for sure there's no wetness around anything there, so everything is dried up. So for me, that's enough of a confirmation. Now the challenge is, how long is this aftermarket water pump is going to last? So hopefully, like I said, it'll last long enough to be worth the money spent to fix the car. So now I'm just going to close out the video here and call this one DONE.